everyone, I'm Maegan Lemp, and this is Quick Conversations on Wellness. This is a project to explore the idea that wellness isn't a fixed thing, and we all think about it and experience it a little bit differently. And today I am so pleased to be joined by my friend and colleague, Afua Bromley. Hi, Afua.
Hello, good morning. Well, good afternoon now.
Can you share with us a little about yourself?
Sure, thanks. Thanks for having me. My name is Afua Bromley. I am a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine. I'm also a mother of two teenagers, a 16 and an 18-year-old. I've been practicing traditional Chinese medicine for the most part, because I do some other aspects of East Asian medicine, but been in practice almost 22 years, which it's amazing how quickly the time goes. I do a lot, probably more than I should, but I'm also very active in our professional community. I'm the immediate past chair of of the NCCOM, National Certification for Acupuncture and Aroma Medicine. And I also have a nonprofit that focuses on eliminating and minimizing healthcare disparities amongst those who were underserved in a variety, and that means a variety of different things. So not only in terms of economic diversity, both ethnic and religious diversity, and I'm also through that working on building a clinic in Ghana, West Africa. So I have a lot of different, I guess, aspects to myself. So in terms of what I do and the focus of kind of my philosophy, general philosophy about health and wellness and kind of my role in that.
You know, I think that you bring a really interesting point of view to the table because you have experience with how people think and experience wellness in different cultures. And that's something that not many of us have much experience with. So can you share with us, through all of your experiences and all of your modalities and all of your travels, how that culminates in how you think about and experience wellness, both on a more global level and how that impacts your day-to-day life?
Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely an evolution in terms of my thinking about wellness, and even the idea of thinking about wellness, because I think my mother was a nurse, and my earliest, I guess, recollection of even thinking about health was relative to her being a nurse. And a close friend, when we lived in Ghana, a close friend's father was a physician, and somehow when I was 6, I decided I wanted to be a doctor. So it was, and doctor to me meant, Western medicine and, the stethoscope, and definitely a certain, I definitely had a certain image of what that meant. I think over time that evolved into really, I became interested in nutrition at a pretty early age. So by the time I was a teenager, I was, experimenting with vegetarianism and veganism and really into nutrition, and was still very much bent on the Western medicine side. But as I got older and then applying to medical school and then taking a detour after receiving acupuncture treatment, I think is really when I actually started thinking about wellness as a whole. And it's something that started resonating with me, because to me, wellness does not mean I take a pill or that I feel I am in perfect health all the time. It's really kind of body, mind, spirit. We see a lot within East Asian medicine. We know that the presence of spirit, when that is disturbed or disrupted, often the physical body follows. And so there is no real separation of that. So there's an element of our physical health, certainly, but in this elusive kind of homeostasis. You know, it's rare that we fully achieve homeostasis, but that's not how I would necessarily define wellness either. It's more of, you know, relatively today, I'm doing great. You know, I'm doing well. My mind is right. My spirit is right. I feel love. I feel joy. And it's something that does sort of come from within. I would say it definitely comes from within, but can be shared, and there's a give take with kind of a symbiotic relationship with the greater population too, and that, you know, it's something that can nourish us, and it's something that sometimes can tax us too. But it really is, for me, kind of trying to make sure with both what I impart to my patients and family, it's really, you know, how are you? How was all of you? Not just, you know, your knees hurt today. So.
That's so beautifully articulated. And I love that you bring in not striving for perfection in every moment, and the moment to moment recalibration. So that really leads us perfectly to my next question, which is, I wanted to ask you, when you do feel off, whatever that feels like or looks like in the moment, what are the tools that you have found successful that you employ when you need to recalibrate or refine your homeostasis?
For me, I think you know, and I will say that everybody is different. So getting to know yourself is really important. For me, one of the things that I need to do that is a good sign that if I feel off, it means that I need to retreat first internally and just be still and recenter. Often I use nature to help recenter me, just kind of grounding in the earth. So whether that's what I call my moving meditation, where I might walk 6 miles, and I can get into this space of really, I'm present, but I'm not present. I'm kind of in this moving meditation. And so next thing I know, I've walked 6-7 miles. And so that is probably what I do most often, is kind of this walking meditation. I also do sometimes meditate outside when I can, whenever possible. If not, if I just need a moment, which, you know, sometimes, you know, we don't have the time or, you know, wherewithal to be outside to have that kind of time. But so sometimes it's a matter of moving into a space where I can just take 5 deep breaths and just focus on turning internally and allowing myself to be one with everything around me. But that helps to ground me. I also use journaling as a tool for growth and reflection. I think one thing in particular about being a practitioner of this medicine is that I've always found that it kind of forces me to deal with whatever stuff that I have. And so it's one of those things that if you're feeling off, the last thing that you want as a practitioner is to impart any of that energy into your patients, because when they're in with you, it's about them and helping them, their bodies, to be able to facilitate healing. And so the last thing you want personally as a practitioner is to impart some of your disruption on them. So it is something that I find I have to maintain that space of really trying to be centered as much as I can, but particularly within the sphere of being present, fully present for patients. Yeah.
That's beautiful. It ties really right into what you were talking about with moving meditation. I recently saw Michael Singer, who wrote The Untethered Soul, and he was briefly about mindfulness and saying, you know, the first level of mindfulness is something that we all know how to do naturally, which is bring all of our attention to the present moment. And then the
Right.
next level is bringing so much of ourselves to the present moment that we lose ourselves in that moment.
Right.
I think that's, if I'm on the right track, I think that's what you're describing.
Yeah.
And
Very much.
informative. Yeah. You have articulated things so beautifully for us. And I think there are so many things that you said that are applicable for us to use as tools to recalibrate day to day. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to share with you, and thank you for everything you do also.
Bye, Afua.
All right, bye-bye.